This somewhat odd-looking little fly is a super simple micro egg-sucking leech. It's ridiculously easy to tie, basically uses only 3 materials, and has worked extremely well for me, particularly in the winter months. The fly starts with a Fulling Mill 5125 size 18 jig hook. It has a short shank but a nice wide gap. I like to get hold of the hook with plunger-style hackle pliers to make handling easier. The hook matches well with a 3/32 of an inch fluorescent orange slotted tungsten bead. A fine-tipped bodkin works great for picking up these little beads, which otherwise are easily lost to the floor. The bodkin also makes it simple to center the small hole of the bead in the fingertips of your left hand. The plunger-style hackle pliers allow you to easily slip the point of the hook into the small hole of the bead without your fingertips getting in the way. Slide the bead around the bend and up the hook shank, then get the assembly firmly secured in the jaws of your tying vise. It's important to position the bead right up behind the hook eye with the squared-off end of the slot pointing downward. For thread, fluorescent fire orange UTC 70 is a good choice, as it becomes all but invisible between the bead and the orange collar of the fly. Get the thread started on the hook shank right at the back edge of the bead, and continue taking thread wraps there until the thread bump is big enough to lock the bead in place. Here you can see the curved end of the slot is on top of the hook shank. With the bead stabilized on the hook, snip the excess thread tag off nice and close. Continue taking rearward wraps until your thread hangs at about the hook point. Although there are a number of materials that will work here, I really like single strands of brown dun and black Fulling Mill ultra dry yarn. I'll snip a full single strand of each free from their respective hanks, then roughly align one end of each. Snipping a little bit of both ends off will keep everything even. Place the snipped off ends on top of the hook shank at the back edge of the bead and begin taking thread wraps to secure them there. Make sure the thread wraps are really tight as you wrap rearward to bind the material to the top of the hook shank. Then advance your tying thread forward almost to the bead, then back down to the hook bend. Get hold of both strands and twist them in a clockwise direction. Twist them up really well, then double the material over to leave a hook-length long tail. When you let go of the material with your left hand, it should furl or twist like so. While keeping a pinch, take thread wraps to secure the yarn right there on the hook bend. Then, take a wrap or two around just the hook shank in front of the material, followed by another one over top. This helps to ensure everything stays locked into place. You can then advance your tying thread to the back edge of the bead. Once again, twist the 2 strands clockwise into a tight little rope. Start taking wraps with the rope to build up the body of the fly, twisting clockwise as you go. When you reach the back edge of the bead, bind the twisted material to the top of the hook shank with nice tight thread wraps. So as not to lose the extra material to my tying bench, I like to twist it up once again and secure it with plunger-style hackle pliers before snipping the excess material off close. I'll then set the 2 strands aside for the next fly. Pull down on your tying thread to expose about 3 inches. Tactical Microflash UV dubbing from Fulling Mill in hot orange is a good choice for the collar of the fly. Pull just the smallest of pinches free from the packet and use it to create a short, very thin noodle on your tying thread. Less is definitely more here. Take wraps with the dubbing noodle to build up a short, tight little collar on the fly. Take just a couple more thread wraps behind the bead, then reach for your favorite whip finish tool. Use it to do a 5 or 6 turn whip finish between the collar and the bead. Make sure to seat the knot really well before snipping or cutting your tying thread free. The final step is to apply a drop of head cement, here Sally Hansen hard as nails, over top of the whip finish to make sure it can't come undone. The modeled body, similar to one on a Pat's rubber legs, along with the orange bead that looks like an egg, really help to sell this diminutive pattern.